Midterm Council meeting kan nei tur chung chang han zia na khania chu an lo tran mai anga nakin an on thlen hun an on zom venga chu mi ma kan soi du chu hei rajawa ta te hi highway chung chang a thu beran ni national highway and call to 10 ya elaya sira thu po hi nia then I'll introduce our president IRC. He's the director of Central Road Research Institute. Through them, we have evaluated our airport pavement recently, and they are going to do pavement evaluation for Aizol Tenzol Lunglei Road, and hopefully they'll be coming by next week. So he's our president of Indian Road Congress, and I think he can start the meeting.
The press note, I'll start with the press note.
Yeah.
So a very good evening to all of you. I'm Professor Manoranjan Parida. I'm currently director of CSR Central Road Research Institute and elected as president of Indian Roads Congress. So this is a very old institution set up in 1934, and Indian Roads Congress is a professional body of highway engineers with participation of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, National Highway Authority, then NHIDCL, Border Roads Organization, NRIDA, different state PWDs, different urban local bodies. And one of the essential tasks that Indian Roads Congress has been doing, it has been contributing towards development of codes and specifications in the areas of highways and bridges. There are around 26 technical committees through which Indian Roads Congress is operating. So those technical committees are split into like highway committees, then you have bridge committees and general committees also. So through that, various Indian standards, codes, specifications, manuals relating to roads, bridges have been prepared. And I would like to mention that IRC has contributed towards the road development in the country. Currently, India has the second largest road network in the world, 6.3 million kilometers of road network. And the IRC activities, the council meetings, they take place in different parts of the country because the codes specifications which are made, they are made for like, in fact, all the geographical regions of the country. And we undertake periodic seminars, workshops. Very recently, IRC organized a seminar on bridges at Guwahati, and with the invitation of Public Works Department, Government of Mizoram, this 233rd Midterm Council of IRC is being organized from 20th to 21st June 2025 at Aizawl. So it's on the invitation of the PWD Government of Mizoram. Mr. Mizoram, the engineering in chief, is like playing the lead role. He's leading the local team in making all arrangements. So these 2 days event will have 3 important meetings besides the inaugural. In the inaugural, Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Harsh Malhotra, who is Minister of State Corporate Affairs and Road Transport and Highways, is going to be present. Then it is the chief guest is the Chief Minister of Mizoram, and the PWD Minister is also going to grace the inaugural occasion. And we'll have participation of Sri V.K. Rajavat, who is the Director General Road Development and Special Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Sri Rahul Gupta, Secretary General, Indian Roads Congress. He is the Chief Engineer. And we have delegates from all across the country, very senior officials, Engineering in Chief, Special Secretary, and other officials, and the council members of Indian Roads Congress. They have all assembled at Aizawl. So they are all going to attend the inaugural program, the mid-council meeting, which is scheduled for 20th. And 21st, we are going to have a chief engineers meeting, a meeting of the high-level officials, those who have come here, plus highway research board meeting. So during this event, 5 new documents are going to be released. So in the press note, we have provided the details. So typically these documents are numbered. If you are looking at your page number 2, IRC 75 Part 2 2025, this is guidelines for retrofitting measures for protection of road system, including surrounding areas from rainfall, waterlogging and flooding. Then second is a document specification for bonded rigid pavement. This is useful for the cement concrete pavement. Third document is IRC 142-2025, guidelines on FDR, full depth recycling or reclamation technology of pavements using cementitious binders. When aggregate is a scarce resource, the full depth recycling is a process by which you can use the existing material. So it's a new document which has come into place. And fourth is manual for development of wayside amenities along highways on public-private partnership mode. And fifth one is manual for smart parking management system. In urban areas, especially with limited space, parking is going to be a huge issue. So multi-storied parking with automated systems, with smart sensors, smart monitoring system are going to be the key elements of a smart parking system. So that is the fifth document. And so this Indian Roads Congress is just not like confined only to the government sector, but we have participation from the private industries, people from the construction sector, people, those who are into equipment business, people those who are into consulting. So all of them, so their representatives are also in Aizawl to take part in this mid-council meeting. And in fact, while we organize these meetings, so we develop new codes of practice. At the same time, we also try to engage with local issues, local problems, and in what way, what kind of new documents, codes of practice that can be developed, which can be useful for the region where these meetings or these mid-council sessions are being held. So this is very briefly, and I'm sure the Indian Roads Congress, as I said, it has completed more than 90 years and has been very critical towards the developments of roads, highways, and bridges in the country. And as we are currently second, we have a lot to go, and maybe like there are different areas in the country where the highway development is going to take place in a very big way. And for that, IRC at least provides the technical support in terms of the codes, the specifications. So we look forward to a very engaging discussion for the next 2 days on 20th and 21st of June. I will request Mr. Mizoram, maybe he can give details of the program of tomorrow's event.
Tomorrow we'll have a inaugural session from 10 a.m. in the morning, and that will be hosted by, it will be done in Mizoram University Auditorium, and you all are invited to be there. And Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Mizoram will be the chief guest, and chief guest of guest of honors will be Harsh Malhotra, Union Minister of State, Road Transport and Highway, and all other IRC President, Secretary General, and then this Rahul Gupta, he's a Secretary General, and Rajawat, Mr. Rajawat, DG and Special Secretary from MRTH also will be there, and many other dignitaries like PWD Minister also will be there, and you are all invited. And after that, we'll be having council meeting. Mainly the council meeting will consider various proposal of specifications and some design methods which have been worked out by many people will be discussed, and many of them will be accepted. So their agenda paper is also available, and that will be the main business for tomorrow. As our president has said, the next day there'll be an HRB meeting, Highway Research Board. So after that, there'll be a meeting of Chief Engineer, Secretary, Engineering Chief, and other invitees also. And approximately this will take the full 2 days.
Yes.
And all the press people of Mizoram, you are invited to join us in that meeting again.
How many delegates do you expected for this IRC meeting?
We have registered about 95 participants. And some of them they could not reach because of flight cancel from Guwahati to Aizawl today. And finally, I don't know exactly how many have turned up for today. How many guests have arrived?
Around 50.
50. So some more are still yet to arrive. And any other question he can also answer.
In Mizoram, our roads, bitumen roads, will not last long. So we need to have more and more cement concretors. Is there possible way for that?
That should have been answered by our DG. And today also we had a meeting with the governor. He has also proposed that Mizoram we need to have rigid pavement, what we call cement concrete pavement. We call it PQC, pavement quality concrete, which is supposed to be M40. Our building is M20, so the strength of PQC is double the strength of our building concrete. And even our chief minister is very keen on rigid pavement. He has written DO letters to Union Minister for Road Transport and Highway, Gadkariji also. And he has also, in a way, accepted. And he said rigid pavement of other countries also should be studied so that it can be successfully implemented in Mizoram. So,
And
and
actually,
our preference is rigid pavement as a PWD of Mizoram.
in fact,
And mainly due to heavy rainfall as well as our aggregates are marginal and sands are also marginal. So due to the construction material, our preference is always a concrete pavement. And hopefully central government will agree, especially on national highway. State highway, since the cost is approximately 30% higher than flexible pavement, it is a little difficult for the state government to fund the rigid pavement. However, for a project like Nesit, we have been proposing rigid pavement, and many of our project has been sanctioned for rigid pavement as well.
So could this IRC meeting make suggestion or recommendation for that?
I'll say, in fact, with the meeting, when we had meeting with the Honorable Governor, so the DG made a specific mention about thin white topping. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has issued circular for thin white topping, which is a cement concrete pavement. But certainly, like in any other item, those things can be brought out. And in fact, we are putting up the request directly to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways.
And I think this subject is to be discussed in the meeting.
Of the chief engineers, we can
Yeah.
take it up there.
That is one of the agenda to be discussed from the state government.
So what can we as a state expect to benefit from hosting this council meet, considering the fact that Mizoram is heavily reliant on the central lake? So what can we expect from the IRC or the central ministry from hosting this council meet?
Yeah, one, as I said, that if you go through the entire thing, you understand for sure. The role of IRC is in terms of developing codes of practices, standards, specifications, guidelines, and at the same time, wherever there is requirement for capacity building, like training, all those things that can be done. But again, Sri V.K. Rajawat is the treasurer of Indian Roads Congress. So we have a lot of involvement of Government of India in the activities. So indirectly, certainly we'll share the issues which the state is facing and to work out the recommendations which are going to help.
Plus, hopefully tomorrow our chief guest will request Ministry of Road Transport and Highway to give more funds on CRF, that is Central Road Fund. So usually they used to give some bonus on this issue.
Yes.
I remember when we had a meeting in Gandhinagar, I think Gadkariji announced that he was sanctioning 3,000 crore for the Gujarat government under CRF. That was, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I expect something will be done by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway for Mizoram as well.
We should add a comment. If we read the press note on the second paragraph, the last line reads.
Which
Cutting
page?
edge.
Which page?
The second paragraph of the first page on the last line.
Cutting edge environmental friendly
Cutting
technology.
edge environmental friendly technology, etc.
Mhm.
So I'd like to highlight that the Center for Environment and Social Justice, which is a non-profit organization in Mizoram, filed an FIR against the engineer of NHIDCL. So that basically means one thing, that the development project which is being carried out by the ministry or whatever agency that is, this cutting edge environmental friendly technology hasn't necessarily been applied in our state. So would there be other further options to improve, as it says clearly, will there be any norms or rules to be implemented to safeguard our environment in Mizoram?
It's for all highway projects, definitely we have EIS studies. So that is one. Typically, any project we are doing, it must conform to the environmental impact assessment studies which are done. And IRC, there are many documents which are green technologies kind of things. At least if you look at FDR is one of the options where recycling options are there. And in fact, some of the northeastern states are very different. You have issues with respect to aggregates. You have issues with respect to the soil conditions. So essentially, they will require very different kind of approach. But I understand we have technologies available which can suit for the local condition. In fact, my organization, Central Road Research Institute, is taking up a study which is initiated by State PWD for evaluation of roads, and we'll try to recommend solutions which is really environmental friendly of technology. Like one of the ideas I can tell you, say one is recycling projects. FDR is one technology which is going to be useful, or there could be cold emulsions also, especially for rural roads. They have been tried. So there are options. In fact, on the basis of study, we can definitely work out. Which can suit towards this particular state. I'm not exactly aware about the NHIDCL project that you are referring.
The next question must be directed towards the special secretary, but as he's not here, I'd like to.
Maybe they will join later. At least means we can have a break, and once they join, there
we
could
can
be a small
discuss
meeting.
other subject. You can raise that one. They are joining it. They are joining our press conference. And we can wait for them. In the
I'd
meantime,
like to direct the question towards the president. Is the IRC happy with the project that's been going on in Mizoram in regards to environmental friendly technology and how it's been happening? You recently said you're not aware of it. I think that's a bit.
No, like when you say that IRC happy or not happy, that's going to be a subject of say State Pollution Control Board. But we do make codes of practice. As I say that environmental impact assessment of any highway project is done by IRC. So in any agency which wants to cross check, like if those guidelines have been followed or not, they can always be cross checked. So IRC, the role is limited towards the development of the documents which defines the protocol.
Yeah, that's exactly because IRC is not involved in monitoring the project, whether it follows their guidelines or not. It is the implementing agency that has to monitor that the contractors are following the guidelines because we have EIA, environmental impact assessment, and we have EMP. So all these documents are there, but during implementation, uh, this has to be checked by the implementing agency. So IRC does not involve in checking at site because they only frame the documents
Yes,
which the state or whoever is doing road work or any other development work should follow. That is the purview of the IRC. And as for the road development work that going on with the NHIDCL, mainly because our problem is dumping of our cut soil disposal site. So this is creating problem, and actually it spoils our river. Many of the river species are dying because of that, and I think that is the main question from the press people. But I think this will not be repeated because government is also aware of now, and every time whenever there's a meeting in the government regarding project implementation, every time it was mentioned that we have to follow this. And sent a state ministry as well as government of India also very much aware of this. Especially MORTH Union Minister is more aware of this, and he is very much interested in creating uh, public recreation center using this disposal site. If a local body can give land for development of that thing, like water bodies, field, play field, or any other recreation center. Because I think that has been mentioned in IRC annual meeting also by him. So as far as disposal site is concerned, now NHIDCL also now they're going to take up this 4-lane project from Silchar to Saira. In this case also they will be more aware of since they have got that PIL. And PWD also, as a PWD also, I think we are much more aware of because we have submitted quite a few projects under National Highway project.
Maybe during chief engineer meeting, these
This
issues they can be raised, so that at least on 21st meeting we try to address these concerns.
right.
Means the questions which you have raised, we'll take note of it. Uh, if you, by any chance, if you can have interaction with Mr. Rajawat, it's fine. But otherwise, also we'll share with him. He has an experience of NHIDCL. Ministry of, works very closely with NHIDCL, NHI. So, we'll definitely try to sort it out with them.
Mizoram Pohanzotro, Ndu Potsun. Mizoram kan so yang IRC simprim hichu hemi road builders kan ti ho zong contractor portal thaya equipment manufacturer hang angeni JCB kan tiang chi excavator kan tiang chi te truck kan siamang chi te po tipper kan tiang chi te po yan atel thai ve kan ni road ta involve ho tan kan ania so when code thi anga me ma kan follow vek turan siamania entinan hill road manual te geometric design for hill road te Mizoram specific Himachal te khating ang hill road base sa siamania kan siamna po kanin in mani state atang point khating ang specification ti tu kan committee member amin ronda ani kan experience kan mangtrang kai veka an mani hi chu tiang a separate body an nilawa all India organization ani wang khan so when IRC rim ma hi chuanin an standard to work out to khania an generalize a state อันที่นั้นฮิลโรดเมนูเลยจวนตลางรำส่งโน้ติสมิตนะกันอินทรอมไทตัวอันเนี้ยอามาเราจูไกด์ไลน์นั่นเนี้ยstrict ตะก้าจูอดีร์เราว่าเกี่ยมันนี่ state specific พอจูกัลเทนี่นี่จีน่าสยังคานินwith like full depth reclamation FDR กันเตีย full depth reclamation pavement เตปกันหันรีเลย์ยะข้างหัวข้าmilling machine เอามาข้าข้าน้ำ mill ชัวก้าข้า chemical เตเลซีเมนต์มังเตคานินเบสกันมังเลยมุนดังlevel IMM lo existing มังติจักไอจักจอกติตุขันข้างอังจีเทคโนโลยีถ้าตั้มตะกันเตียอินให้ตุนไล่กันเสียหลายเมมวิญญาณพลอันติเอมัลสันอังจีเตปอฮี environmental friendly เดวตูรันซีมหันส่วนคุกลุยลุยเหล่าเดวอังตูรันซีมขานี่อามาเราจะแห่งพอฮีดูอังจานินกันละมังทัดเฮลวะอินเทคโนโลยีพอฮี further development ละไงเวทเขาเตปออันนี้ถ้าตีงอังคารเนี่ยกัลเวเซลกัน president ตักไปจูขัดยังละมา research ดีขันเนี่ยdepartment ละมาทบปนนี่ละว่า Central Road Research Institute กันเนี่ยข้างอัง road ลำปัง research bridge เนี่ยมั้งขัดยังอัง research ดีค่ะอันเนี่ยค่ะassum เลยไปลำเลยที่ลำปังที่จูโอ้ยเนี่ยตักที่จู national highway มีกว่าไปจนให้ปนิยัน local ละว่ากัน Secretary General เลยกัน IRC Treasurer DG Special Secretary นี่บอกแต่เห็นเนี่ยรีนายนั้นดูเรตเดว่ากันอินสารุ่งกันเหล่าตรันสันไม่มานินเหล่าตรันไม่รอนตีว่ากันอินหาไปจกันหากันง่ายต่อเล่มเราเว้นตีไปจนหาพวกง่ายจวงต่อแล้ววะเองหมออ๋อจอดเราอินดูพอจนกันมูเดลตัวอามาคานินคุมิตรงไพรนัช่างโลกอะไรบุกไปนะจอลจ้าเดลคุกันหันินเบรมตัวอามาโรจูอาบุลาฮันเปโตรปั๊มเสียมันเหล่าตัวมาเปโตรปั๊มเนี่ยจนดูนชีเจจ้างหันนี่ละวะกันอินวิดรอเลต้าอุนดังพอฮีกันหูตันเดวินกันเสีย new people are coming I told them they can ask in Mizoram
Oh, no, that's good. Tu na son siam thatumin order an han place le anuai som thum le tlem vel man kha chu kan order le nge ma hei chu na function thai me nga chu kan tiamo amaro chu fu te lo nia cái ní bộกันมันหมดแต่ช่วงเราว่าฟูรันหัดทอดชุกไอ้ฟีสุไลอ่ะปะรัวสูนไม่งานหันถกลุยเดียวกันให้ขกเลยกันมัวผพเดี๋ยวเงี้ยเงี้ยเอามารถชูทางเตปข้าตีต่อเราวิทย์ทำให้กันเตี้ยมาเสะกันน่าเต้นเรา ambitious เดียวจานมาริเชงอ่ะจ่อเราให้กันดูอันตีเดียวสัตตาเองกันเช่นพัตตาบิตุเมนเละรัวให้จุนมิลเราขบะเลี้ยมาเราหูเดียวต่อให้จุนน่ะเบ็ดทัดูเราขบะเองกันดินหุ่นเนี่ยส่วนฮอตมิกซ์พลันพอหิมวงจางเดี๋ยวเล็กินอุลุกเดี๋ยวเล็กินหุ่นแต่พอจงนี้เรามีปุ๋ยตานะนกสักเราเดี๋ยวหุ่นทัศน์กันเตี้ยตัวนั้นเห็น final decision สิกันแล้วชิมเทเลยคนนี้
ไม่ใช่รอบแรกใช่ส่งไปวิจุส่งไปรอบแรกค่ะอันนั้นดีอ่ะอันนั้นเราส่งคนสร้างอีเดียที่เนี่ยเชื่อถือว่าตาทางคงคือหันเสียงที่เราเสนาจู่อันนู้นไม่ถูกอาเซตเสียงคงเสียงครับส่งถึงสุดขาค่ะโอ้ยมันคือการสุดขาค่ะถ้าดีว่าอันไหนทำเลยก็ดีอันคนสร้างดิวิชั่นเป็นของขาเขาอีกเรื่องนึงมั้ง
เนี่ยไอ้ zol เขาปุ๋ยชุ่งตัวน่ะอีเปเวอร์กันหันตีอินเฟียดลาเรมันบิทูมัสคอนกรีตกันตีกันเสียมตูลิสาขานักเตลละวะอามาเราจะเสียมง่ายนี่กันตีจิงอ่ะกันชวนอักเตลทั่วกันตีไล่ขันเนี่ยมุนดังปอยหมอจอกค่ะไอ้ zol มีปุ๋ยตำจอกกันนั่นมันไล่ขัดเหกันง่ายปอยหมอ tin so tilai kong so ke mani PWD ram chung kong an nge a kan ril ro chon om renga khatilai a kha chuan in khami siam tur khan in EC kan ni nang chon kan he na chon an soi lo nge maya alai a kha chu EC kan ni nang chon in an soi lo wa amaro chu kan ril ro chon om tho om chu amaro chu PWD tai du to ka sum man tur nei kan ni lo wa du duin July chu vot yang han ti lei thei lo na chin hi kan nei ve ni alaya kan limitation na kha chu min siat pui a public ang point ni se nang mani ang point min siat pui kha a tha ka tia min siat angin sia road fund board kan tia I mean noi hang kumina sakarin kum dangain 15 crore in pay bel ema 55 crore kan nei kha ni maya ka maintenance sa poisa kan nei hi ni mai hatiang kong han bitumen han repair na turang chi te kha chuan kan poisa nei hi be thama kilometer sang sari don kong en kol kan nia tin thingtlang kong chatak tak pura pe chuan in motor po kal hlei thei lo na ang chi te kan nei ve khang han en kol ka priority kan pe lo thei lo chu po chu kan pe seng chung lo ni
Adi le ram ko ram ko na sio chin chin so atan ve an ti ra ri ta aka ti thawa ase an lek top chin dei ba ko sin an ti chin so a ko ko so adi lo ne a ko le lu la chu tiang ang chia chuan tu na hian vai re te le bi ku ka an be chuanอันหลบถูกแล้วทุกคนนี่ถ้าใครอีซีนี่นั่งคันที่คนสั่งขึ้นตาดิฉันคงส่งอันนี้ตาจนคนละสิบคนคนวิ่งการที่เล็กไลน์หัวลุยสองพวกสามหัวเรื่องสินค้าดูง่ายคันของว้าวเลยอัดทุกเลยอัดที่บ้านเงินเพียงwe chalo nge ni nge ka thong su ka lo wa
so ja ro
continue so ali okay se le ali ko ke le ba re se ka te le ko se ka so su na ko so fa so ri ama no ka ari lo ni tak kaมันจะไม่ทะลุเลยฟังเนี่ยเสียชีวิตหรอวะจะเรื่องที่ไหนเนี่ย
kan chang chin don I'll reply in local language because he's asking in local language he's asking about bituminous concrete which we have done recently in Aizol and National Highway abera chuan in ya adik khop maya Aizol ko pui chung bik an soi tai la dik len na petrol pamatranga chan mari abik takin len khat kan tin hun lama hi a chedewa len chak lampo hi bitumen kati aggregate ron suwa ka tamme me maya hi reason panium taya pakatu ruasur to ni khati lai kan kick off kan nei zan po khan rom mi tla ka ho man to nge an chuang to don sian le don sia van poi o bitumen chona chiat pha don ani hi katia achan chu bitumen hi ruane na in mil lo khopa kan roll point a hu chuan i muk tho sin ma se adang nen kha na in chak tak tak thei lo ni tin ruina ri kan aggregate alo nan to chuan kan aggregate te kan rora anem chu khang huwa kha water absorption alo sanga kung silong lungte ang ani lawa 1% below mo 1.5 2% below well hi kan mang le thei lawa ni khang khanin ruasu chun tui lo absorb pa mix kan handa hei khola emo kan chuang emo po ni se khang kha evaporate tak tak ma in bitumen khan lo cover le to sia khamia cover le kha ruasura ni sat khan pore pressure siama ai expand ta ni a bitumen kha a strip kan tia a khok chuak ta kha khan kong sia hi siama a tak taka chuanin bituminous concrete hi chu a design po adanga marshal stability test kan tia chuta chun air void kan ti te motor tlana ain compact le na tur 8 volt air void takha heti za parsen ni om tur ni bitumen ina field ta point is a parsen tur ni ti effect design ania gradation po IRC na siam gradation chat kan tia a envelope chunga khan om nge nge tur ania khang kha chu tu na mix design a so chuna gradation a so chuan oma a mix na po hian duty kan in da tho khang kha diklo a chan chu kan hot mix pan in bu chuan in bin pathuma ne ya pakhata aggregate 20 down na oma pakhata chuan in chips kan ti kha oma pakhata sen filler kan ti ang chi dip deuh hlek kha oma khatiang anga a density sang theiang ber tur ti nia so lai kong chiat na ber nia ka hriat so chu a mix a pia kan ti te ne na mix a in vak ang vek ani bong kon phe kan ti te ne ruwa kha kai chong ka pu deuh bera tin tam tak hi chu kan hot mix pan na hlathian alo daya kha kha duangin compaction na thato lo bitumen hi satlo chuan in char som thailo rolling ang mela mukringo ta ain char thailo wa rolo suri na kara rolo ta kha kha nin aggregate kha ti chuak le a pothol kan ti kha rang deuh mai nei sim le thin kha kha nia kutilai i vaireng te soi te po kha ruwa sur tran to ni kha kha balaji ho tho tho ning ka sia contractor thatak an nge nge in ka sia khang te po kha chung chu ani ka ring tin hei airport road po hi rinain I pothol atam ke po hei tunlai ka tlan na mani lo ka kan ti tho ani big takin alalama hei hi mualung thubula tangan on pho phe nia avot man deu to nin ka sia rolling temperature hi 100 aya nuaya 100 degree centigrade aya nuaya 90 nuaya pe chon roll to lo tura ngai ania ate hi chu kan han te ve a 120 te alo la kaya ma se khang kha chung lam te hi chu lo kai lo thei khop maya kha tianga wang khan then khat lai ku chu pot hol te po om nin ka ria tin an ni po ku ruwa sun de nuwa atop lam pang 0 point kan ti railway station nai te phei ku khang lai ve lan ti to kha nia chu wai ke na kan pu de bera hi chuanin ruwa sun nuwa kan lo ti kan than hem ngai lu tu zo kan tum lu tuk na hianin min ti mol pho mo ti kha ka ngai dan deu technical ya ka pu da ka soi ni chu
Atopera. Bongkon traffic point ka ong se em mai haya ma de wa ni siam cha drain siam su tu kan lo me ka ni ka lo ko pa ya pa se bongkon cha ta kan ta bongkon pa so ti e ba o ba so tu atil fai only
so so ngai poi mong ko moi ke po ni tina ka tlan na ni ka kala piang hian ka hi chu kan ti pon ta lo poi mong o ti ka ngai tua ama ro chu tun chon ro su to oni se possibilities kan lo en don ya a ti ma thei da enge mo rem chang chuan
I have one question for the Road Congress.
We are waiting.
I think the president is
Some
there
of
and
the
the general
MRTs,
secretary
for
is
example.
also there, and we have our secretary from this of road transport. See, my question is, Indian Road Congress. I know you've been there since the time of independence. You're supposed to look into the matter, like how the roads are being built in each state. You are the monitoring people. See, now that in Mizoram we have so many roads coming up. Now under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and under the NHIDCL, there's so many roads being built, newly built. Just in the past 3 years, we've seen so many connectivity coming up. But then the thing is the condition of the roads. I mean the kind of the road which we have. We have seen it in Assam, within Tripura, within Meghalaya also. Their roads last much longer than what the NHIDCL are building out in our state. I mean, the quality of the roads is still very inferior than what we have in the other northeastern states of India. So is it a part of your purview that you could see to that the roads are being built in a proper way, in a very good way? See, I saw to selling the new national highway that is being built. In one monsoon, it just collapsed. In just one monsoon, it just collapsed. Now it's being repaired, and there's so many other roads which are being built by NHIDCL under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. We have very broad roads now, 4 lanes, 2 lanes, but then the quality of the roads compared to other, even not compared to Noida or Gurgaon, I cannot compare to that, but even compared to what the Guwahati people are having, and it looks like it's very inferior what the Tripura, what the Assam, what the Meghalaya people are having. So I think it's like whatever from the literature I have learned, that the Indian Road Congress is, if I'm wrong, you might correct me, but it's your purview that you could see to that the roads are being built very correctly. And so, what is the role of IRC, Indian Road Congress, then? This Ministry of Road Transport and NHIDCL building our roads. Is it your purview to monitor these roads?
Respond to IRC. Yeah. No. I will answer.
Okay, we will just circulate a press note.
We have circulated.
Okay. So where you can see what is the role of Indian Road Congress. Indian Road Congress is a collaborative body where all the engineers from all the states of the country are represented, and based on their experiences, we develop the standards, and those standards are to be followed by different agencies, whether the central government or the state government. So the roads are being built based on those standards, and it is the responsibility of the agency who is getting the road constructed to monitor the implementation of those standards. So, for example, Mr. Joram Liama, Engineer-in-Chief, is a council member of the Indian Road Congress. So, whatever the experience he shares in the relevant committees of the Indian Road Congress, those standards and those suggestions are incorporated in those standards.
So I would just like to respond because you made a nice comparison, roads of Mizoram versus Assam, Tripura. I'm also the director of CSR Central Road Research Institute. So when it comes to quality check, normally that is done by sometimes independent agency, and CRI located at Delhi, we do quality audit with respect to different constructions. There has been, our team will be in Aizawl maybe next week. So they have a plan. First, they will come to Agartala because of the floods. There has been damage of the roads. There are certain failures. We are trying to investigate, and in fact, Noida, NCR also roads are failing. So there could be specific patches. There could be specific causes, but definitely the study has been initiated by Mr. Joram Liana, and our team will come with respect to understand what kind of repair, rehabilitation, maintenance, and what kind of best technologies that can be given, which is going to sustain. As an institute, we try new materials, new technologies. In many northeastern states, we have seen emulsions have done very well. So there are many options when we do a thorough investigation for the states which the government of Mizoram has assigned to us. We'll come out with the best recommendations. And these recommendations, we will be utilizing the various IRC documents. But essentially, like with all the central agencies, it is expected that these roads are to be of comparable quality. IRC has one particular benchmark. It is irrespective of where these roads are. Thank you. Mr. Rajawat,
As regards to the responsibility of the as regards to the responsibility of the contractor to maintain the road, all the contracts nowadays, whatever NHIDCL has floated is on an EPC contract. It is a engineering procurement contract. Means the contractor has to design itself the road, build the road, and maintain for 5 years. defect liability period is for the 5 years. The quality of work is supervised by the authority engineer, which authority engage for the supervision of the work. Since whatever may be the failure of the road, it is the responsibility of the contractor to repair at its own cost without any additional cost to the government. So if during construction any road fails or any damages occurs to the road, it is the responsibility of the contractor who is the building the road has to repair at its own cost. Now, as regards to the quality of road comparison with the Assam and Mizoram and other parts of country, you know, these roads, area is very fragile as particularly regards to the landslide. You know, whenever we cut the road, the tree vegetation gets away. Because of that, all those landslide occurs for initially 2 or 3 years. It will continue occur as we witnessed in other hilly areas of the country like Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand. So once you remove the tree cover from the hill, it starts getting away. But there is a provision in the contract to protect the hill slope with some kind of breast wall, some vegetation cover, so that you can intact this. But it requires 2 or 3 seasons to stabilize them. So till then, contractor has to remove all those mark and maintain the road. So I hope that after 2 or 3 years, all those roads which are widened to 4 lane will be stabilized with proper vegetation cover, and then it will protect the hill for any further landslide.
Okay, just one last question. I mean, for me, my last question. See, the thing is, now we are in the monsoon, and there's been so many rains coming, and there's been so many landslides, and even during those landslides, because the NHIDCL have done their so many development works, so you know they've cut so many lands, and now our rivers are so polluted. See, during in the height of our monsoon, see, the last time I get water supply from the PH department was like 30 days back, because our rivers are so polluted with whatever the NHIDs have been cutting the roads across all our water sources. So all our water sources are polluted. So is it, I don't know what's your purview, is it your purview that this kind of environmental pollution and all this is happening in the state? So is it that the NHIDs also report to you that these things are happening? And plus, whatever we have learned in the recent past, that Mizoram rocks are too soft. So our rocks are too soft; they're not sturdy enough to build quality roads. So is there any possibility that we get rocks from Shillong, from Meghalaya, where the rocks are so good, so sturdy, so strong? So usually when we raise a question, usually what reply we get is the rocks we have in Mizoram for constructing a road, whatever rocks we have in our state is too soft, not sturdy enough. So is there any possibility that we get our rocks to build a road from Meghalaya, which they have so many rocks, granite rocks?
Exactly.
I don't know.
You know what our IRC Secretary General has told, that IRC prescribes the standard of the material, that this kind of material, this kind of rock, this kind of aggregate has to meet the requisite standard for construction of the road. Now, if suppose that particular quality of material is not available in the Mizoram, it is the responsibility of the contractor to get it from Assam, Nagaland, or wherever he can get it. He cannot.
Does the contractor report to the IRC, or that the chain of command which?
Yeah. So when contractor, there is a system of the quality control. When contractor goes and tests the material from the government quarry, then he tests the material and he said, okay, this material satisfies the IRC requirement. Then he takes the permission from the local district magistrate or local DC, and then he starts the excavation of the material. Then the test result is checked by the authority engineer, which we deploy for a supervision and quality control. So he repeatedly keeps the check on the quality of material which he is extracting from the mines or quality allotted by the government. If it doesn't meet the requirement, then they stop the material utilization, and they ask, like, bring the material of the requisite standard. Then contractor has to procure maybe from 200 kilometer or 300 kilometer, wherever from he gets the requisite standard. In any case, the substandard material is not allowed to be used in the road, whether it is available in Mizoram or anywhere. But no substandard material is allowed, and for that quality control check, there is a provision of authority engineer who keeps a watch and ward. Further, NHIDCL and other agency also deploys the third party quality auditor, which is also outside the domain. So he comes, he independently checks the material and submit a report independently to the ministry as well as to the NHIDCL headquarters in Delhi. So they again go to the quality check requirement and everything. So there is a foolproof system in which all those qualities are being checked, whether they are using some material, some standard material, all those things. So there is foolproof system. It's a complete mechanism is there, and government is fully aware that the poor quality of material shall not be used by anybody. So they keep on repeatedly sending the officers from Delhi. Like we used CRRI also in many occasions to check the quality control of material. We use the IITs and other laboratories. So they come and pick up the sample and check it. Yeah. Thank you.
Some question for Mr. Rajawat from that side.
Yeah.
The gentleman was asking.
Meghalaya lungkha airport tan hian in Meghalaya lungkha kan hmang do na ron kurnuan to ato ema financing la ma hian in problem chu kan nei deu ani kan sarkar hi NHIDCL hi state hian role kan wa nei lu tuk lo wa ni chia lo PWD page chu kan tel lo hrim hrim ti tu pom min ti lo sarkar hi chuan in khami monitoring kha chu nei thawak committee kha chu khata kha chuan in member chu kan ni thawa ma ro chu kaini na kan bo monitor fu ye hi chu unled problem te le heng lampang a technical hi chu a soyang khan authority engineer te an ya ha kha chu nya thil ti thei lo chu ni mi lo a tha tur chuan in pressure chu kan pe thei te reng mai a mang tu kan ne kan ram mania huh? Okay. Dari tay ka ti top theng em question dang nge ni MORT sungchang a khan ni ching khan zo du te kha kan ning ka ria. Any other one more question we can take it? Mizo ta chun din na tai mai don. MORT sam pang kha ni chin deu kha zo deu khai ne du le mizo trong pan soi la ka dau soi ye mai nga. Alle. They are asking what will be the benefit for the state to host this council meeting. I explained to them when we had a annual meeting in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. MORT's minister promised that he'll give 3,000 crore under CRF. So this time I heard Rajawat will promise me about 200 crore for road project and maybe 200 crore bridge.
No.
What Setu Bandan. So I hope tomorrow our chief minister also will
am not
request.
a politician, but definitely I can't make long promises. But definitely the benefit to the state is that once you hold such kind of conference in a state like Mizoram, a lot of dignitaries, lot of people comes, and then the state gets the notice. And a lot of deliberation took place here, where the PWD, because I know him since I think 10 years.
Yeah, more than 10 years.
Yeah, more than 10 years I know him. So we know that he ultimately all those knowledge which we share in the next 2 days, it will benefit the engineers of the Mizoram PWD and other engineers associated with this. So definitely it's going to upgrade their skill, upgrade knowledge. They will come to know different technologies being adopted elsewhere in the country, which is beneficial for the Mizoram. Now, we will also discuss one topic which we will examine, and CRRA will also be with us, providing some kind of a concrete roads in the Mizoram. Because one of my friends highlighted the poor quality of road and bad maintenance. So we are still thinking of providing some concrete road PQC, we call it as a technical name, but it is a cement concrete road wherever it is possible, so that the repeated damage to the road should be avoided. There is another technology, instead of a thick concrete road, there is a white topping road. White topping means the small thickness of the concrete over the damaged bituminous surface. You know, road is good, it's a good strength, but the top layer of bituminous is washed away. So we will remove all those bituminous layer and put a thick, it's a very thin layer, around 20 centimeter, just a plain concrete slab, so that it will sustain a longer time. And it has been provided widely in the Maharashtra, in the Konkan region, which is having the same rainfall as in the Mizoram, so which is proving very good their result. So, but because it is a hilly area, there is no much scope for traffic diversion, because once you provide the concrete, you have to keep the traffic stop for at least 14 days for curing to concrete to set. But in hilly area, we have a narrow width, so you can't stop the traffic for 14 days. So there is a difficulty in constructing the concrete road in the hilly area, but still we are exploring that possibility. So that we will experiment it, and if successful, then we can go in a long way. Now, as regards to my friend's request for CRF and other projects, definitely the annual plan of the state is already approved. There are many projects included for repair to damaged bridges. As regard to CRF, you know, it is the as per the Central Act, there is a contribution by the state in the form of cess, which is depend upon the area and the petrol and diesel consumption. There is a fixed share. I think Mizoram share is around 26 crore annual accrual. 37
yeah. crore.
And as per the Ministry of Finance guideline, we can sanction up to the 6 times or the bank of sanction. So we will examine that cushion, whatever is the cushion available, and within that cushion, based on the state priority, because the list and the project has to be proposed by the state government. So whatever they will propose, the ministry will go by the funds available, and accordingly we will sanction it. So there is no problem. We will sanction as much as possible within the cushion available. Thank you.
That is under NHIDCL. I job by that tunnel that is going to be just a few meters away from here. The contractor is not cancelled, no? It is already awarded.
I think so. It's awarded.
Cancellation, no?
But work has not started, I think, no?
I think it was cancelled because the third player was from the Turkish firm.
Oh, yeah.
Due to the Ministry of
exactly. I think because I am not directly dealing, but I heard that because of the recent conflict, the contractors or the consultant of the Turkish firm, they are not being considered for security reasons. So I think that firm could not get the security clearance from the MHA. So therefore, I think that contract is cancelled.
Retender.
Maybe, because foreign contractor requires the security clearance to work in northeastern areas.
Cancel the project. Attend the Dawhkan in Turkish farm conflict to lie to Tamhi. Can beyond our scope on a hakachu. Kami Dawhkan in cancel in benefit and soita gachuan 2018 kan Midterm Council kan lo sing to. Kami Dawhkan in Bairabi Mamit Bairabi Poko National Highway NA6 para min pun sa kan lo request sa. Kating ang Dawhkan 306A kan tiwareng te tranga real hydel project heta mau cara chuak mo. Eng te po himin lo pun sa to ni tika. Ka chu tu na hen project report kan siamna. Tikana talk thei mayem. Hello mo me. Thank you very much for attending our simple press conference.